Hello, everybody, and welcome to my review of Black Ambrosia by Elizabeth Angstrom. I was really excited to read this one. This is the third paperback from Hell that I've read. The first two being When Darkness Loves Us, and then Let's Go Play at the Atoms. This book is also written by the author of When Darkness Loves Us, Elizabeth Angstrom, and I was really excited to read this one. And just like When Darkness Loves Us, it was very well written, and it actually has a really awesome first sentence. This might be my favorite first sentence of any book I've read. It had me hooked right away. It says, "I certainly never intended to become a vampire." That's the very first sentence, and I thought that was great. But with that being said, I think this book would have been better as a short story or as a novella, probably. It just didn't really work that well as a novel. It drags in the middle, it drags big time, and it just gets super repetitive. Without spoiling it, but it basically follows this vampire as she just goes across the country and she just road trips everywhere and finds herself in these different situations she likes to explore, and she just ends up in these just it just gets really repetitive. The situations she finds herself in, there's not a lot of suspense or real horror that would have made it better. I never really thought the protagonist was in much danger. There was one small situation a little bit towards the end where there was a little suspense, but it doesn't really redeem the book. It just sort of drags and just gets a little, I guess, monotonous, I guess, might be the way to put it. I mean, it is beautifully written, so you're not gonna, have a hard time getting through it. You're definitely gonna get through it easy, but I think for a while I just sort of was waiting for a little bit more to happen, and that on that end I was sort of let down. But I mean, that's just me, because before I do these reviews, I just like to read some other ones and see how other people feel about it. And I mean, that was one thing I did see other people agree on, was that it dragged a little bit, but the majority of people actually really loved this book. But I like When Darkness Loves Us a lot more than this one. Um, I think that these two that I already read are 5 stars, and this has been a 3 star. This is the only one that I didn't really love so far. I loved the other two. This one, I didn't really love it. It's also got a few like if any of you watching have read Carrie, Stephen King's Carrie. There's in the chapters they have little like articles and interviews and stuff from people that were at the prom in Carrie, and so you sort of see glimpses into the future. And I think it works really well in Carrie, but it also has that at the end of some of these chapters, and it just doesn't work out that well for me in this book. I just don't like that part of it. But I mean that's just me. It just didn't really feel like it flowed that well. Like we would go through this like we'd go through a chapter with her and see what she was up to, and then it sort of ends with like the person she came across in that chapter just talking about events from after the novel is over, and it just didn't really I don't know, it just didn't really work as well as it worked in Carrie. So Black Ambrosia, I mean, I think if you like When Darkness Loves Us, you'll like this one too. I mean, it's written just as beautifully, but the story just didn't grab me as much as it did for the 2 stories in When Darkness Loves Us. And I mean, it's still it's still a solid book, but just wasn't my favorite out of the 3 that I've read so far. But that's it for today, you guys. If you want to check out Paperbacks from Hell, I'll have the link to Valancourt Books' website down in the description where you can buy all these. And I'm also an author, and I have my books on Amazon that you guys could read. 4 of them right here. The Eclipse Theater, Eternity Sequel, Inner Demons, and Duality. So those my books are all down in the description on Amazon, and there's a link to Paperbacks from Hell. Have a great day.